Hey guys, who are you?
I'm Ian Kersey, founder of Juniper House.
I'm Kaidio. I'm an admin.
She's co-host, right hand, mostly badass. This wouldn't exist without her.
Oh, what? I could say the same for you.
And shout out to Tim Levy, my co-creator, who recently moved away.
So what is Juniper House?
Juniper House is a literary event. I like to start off by saying it's not a poetry event, it's a literary event. It's a read whatever you want kind of event, put it down on a piece of paper, read your grocery list and list of baby names kind of event. Like anything you come up with literarily that you want to share, you can share it here under the conditions. There's two conditions. That number one condition, it has to be original, it has to be new. You can't have shared it with an audience before. And second condition is it can't be hate speech. Yeah. What would you say about it?
I love it. I think it's amazing. I think the whole concept of just keeping everything fresh really works just for us as like a collective. Like one of the things that you said like when you first started is like you wanted to see artists grow and change and try new things, and I think it's a great platform for exactly that.
Yeah, I think I've gotten to see a lot of that happening. We have a lot of literary artists who have been coming here over long periods of time, and they're coming up with things that are different from anything they've done before. They've really grown and changed their methods and tones, and they experiment more. And that's kind of the point, is this should be just a get weird experimental space that's open and friendly to anyone, and creates dialogue and feedback among artists so that, you know, they can, I don't know, be better artists, I guess.
Yeah.
That's cool. So what made you guys want to start Juniper House, or start co-hosting Juniper House? And when did it start?
I mean, we're coming up on our year.
We are, dude.
So,
it's almost a year. It'll be a year, what, next week?
Yeah.
Holy shit, we should plan something.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
So me and my co-creator Tim Levy, a long time ago we used to hang out and drink jug wine and start a fire, a little bonfire in our yards, and read poetry and like literally yell poetry at each other. And it was all in the inspiration of the Beat Generation, and going even back further with like Walt Whitman and influences like that. That grew over time, and we decided that we needed to turn that into a community event that other people could engage in and get weird, and yeah.
I just fell in love with it. It's just the like only one of its kind, I feel like, in our town, and it's just like so inspiring. I just fell in love with it, so obviously I want to be a part of it. So
yeah, I actually sought out Kai. She used to come to an event that I hosted called Barley Rhymes, and when we got this started, I sought out Kai and I was like, "You have to come. We need you here." And then next thing I knew, she was helping me run the show. Yeah.
That's cool. So what is early Juniper like versus like Juniper now?
I feel like it's just a constantly evolving experience and like inspiration to draw from, which is awesome. I've seen so many people grow and change, and I've seen a lot of people just come and then not share and then like start actively working, and like it's just nice, especially with workshop too. It's just like that extra push of like being challenged for creativity. And every time that we do workshop, or every time that like I come here and I see people writing, like that's just what it's all about.
Yeah, I think the biggest difference is that in the beginning it was Tim and I running the show, and we always kind of had things arranged in a way that we wanted it, but we tried to leave room open for experimentation. But since Kai has come on, she's been really good about initiating people to write through writing workshops and dialogue, and she came up with the nightly pulling of the prompts and making prompts for people to write. You know, she came up with this idea of having a prompt jar, and we got together and figured out how to find one of those. And yeah, so I think that the biggest difference has been the influence that Kai has given to it. Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet. So what are some of your favorite moments from Juniper House since it's begun?
Dude, every week.
It's always something different, and it's just always an adventure, I feel like.
Yeah, I think one of the ones that comes up that I think of the most often is we have a writer who comes here occasionally named Eric DeVigi, and one day he just read this random list of things that he put on the notepad of his smartphone, and some of it was like first lines to a poem. Parts of it were like his grocery list. You know, it's just this weird amalgamation of stuff, and it turned out to just be a phenomenal moment. Everybody just loved it. It was. I think that's probably one of my favorites for sure.
Anything that Claire Pearson does, because she is incredible. We don't get to see her very often, so it's like, I don't know. I just love her style and like her way of performing. Yeah, I like it too. Like when there's a first-time reader, or like people come and they're like, "Oh, I'm not gonna read," and like finally get to hear something, or like someone that's been showing up for a while and they finally share, and it's incredible. And it's just like, that's my favorite moment, is when they like get that, oh, ooh, okay, I like this.
Yeah. First-time readers are definitely like my favorite kind of unique event that happens. It doesn't happen every week, but it happens most weeks, and the people who read for the first time always express that they're not ready or they're unsure or something like that, and then they slay the entire night. And it always happens. Yeah. And I think it's because everybody has to read something that's new, everybody's standing on the same stage, as it were. You know, like you don't have people reading polished work that they've gotten feedback on and really figured out how exactly they want to perform it. You know, everybody is a little nervous because it's untested. And so you get first-time readers who can be a little more confident because they're not competing with somebody who's really polished in their performance or their editing. So yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice.
I just like, especially too, because it's not all poetry. Like we've had creative nonfiction, like essay. I feel like because it's not poetry, it's taking people that are poets, like myself, like try to challenge themselves and write in a medium that they're like totally not familiar with, and then have like help from peers to get a review on it. Like that's just really positive.
Yeah, for sure.
That's cool. So you guys are coming up on a year. What impacts has Juniper House had on your life, your writing, just anything?
It definitely makes me write more. I think that it's woken up a part of my artistic self that I haven't gotten to have since I was in art school in college, and that's that being engaged in a community of other artists. It consumes every week, you know. It's something that I'm constantly involved in. My group of peers and friends has grown and really changed dramatically. I've become really close with people that I don't think I would have met otherwise.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like my church for me. Like it's super therapeutic, and like I said, like we were saying, there's so many new friends and new people. And I just love like the creative community that it is, because everybody is really positive and like encouraging. for me personally, I mean, it's definitely helped me start to do the things that I really wanted to do writing wise. I put out 4 books this year and had 2 features. So, I mean, it's just been a good platform for encouragement and growth.
Kai's chapbook, Pawn Shop Stories, is probably my favorite piece of work that's been published or released through Juniper House. Reading that night, if you can find it, pick up one. It's awesome. It's so good.
All right. So how would you guys sell Juniper House? You just met someone off the street. They are reading a book that you're super interested in, and you think that they might be, literary minded.
Yeah. I mean, I tell people about it all the time. I'm just like shamelessly plugging it.
It's your pitch.
I'm just like, hey, so like, you like poetry, right? Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I've never been to Slam though, or like, I don't, is it like a game? And I'm like, no, like we all just get together and read. Like, everybody is reading new stuff, and it's really great. We have a whole like big dynamic group of people, and then they're just like, oh, sounds pretty cool. Is it free? And I'm like, yeah, it's free. Yeah. Be 21? No. Like, you can totally come hang out, check it out.
We have food and beer specials, so that's nice.
Yeah.
I tend to tell people the format. The first hour and a half is an open reading. We have a sign-up sheet. When that fills up, those are the people that go. And like I said before, it has to be new and original. And it can't be hate speech. And other than that, it's open. It doesn't have to be poetry. It doesn't have to be essay. It can be whatever you want to write down and read or perform. And then our last half hour, we have a featured writer who gets to share a significant chunk of their work, their newest work. The way Kai says it, I'm not as cool as Kai is. So.
Oh.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Sweet.
Yeah.